If you've checked out our official program website, which if you haven't yet, I encourage you to do so, then you've probably seen that we have expectations for our applicants of a minimum overall GPA of 2.8 and a minimum of DVD GPA of 3.0. I want to clarify that while we do look at these as expectations, we have been known to make exceptions for applicants with strong, relevant experience in the field. Therefore, I would say that you should not rule yourself out if you are close to those cutoffs but haven't quite met them. It is honestly harder to match to our program if you don't meet those cutoffs, but it is not impossible. We have interviewed and offered placements to applicants who fell below one of those criterion. All application showed strong preparation to be successful in a dietetic internship. What I will say is that we don't want you to waste time, money, or energy applying to our program if you're really just not going to be a viable candidate because you are not meeting those expectations related to GPA. So if your GPAs, again, are close to but don't quite meet one or the other of those cutoff numbers, I encourage you to reach out to me directly, and please include a resume with your email explaining your calculated GPAs, and provide both, especially if you meet one of those expectations but not the other, so we can see that in context. And then any other relevant information. So for instance, if your overall GPA is lower than 2.8, but this is a second degree for you and the current coursework, your GPA is very solid or even especially high, but maybe that prior degree is bringing you down, let us know that. Give me that information. Provide the resume, and in your email, highlight relevant experience that you believe has prepared you well to be successful in an internship and helps sort of counteract any concerns that the selection committee might have related to some of your lower grades. If you do that, I will review that information and get back to you and give you an honest assessment of whether or not I believe you can be a competitive applicant for our program. Obviously, I can never promise a match or an offer of a match. So much of it depends on who else applies to the program, but I can give you a clear indication of whether you have an overall grades and experience that would still ensure that the committee is happy to consider your application and look at the full picture of what you would bring to the internship, or if probably you are going to need to find some other strategies to round out your application before potentially applying in the future as a more competitive applicant. And I can give you a little bit of insight into what that additional preparation might look like. I hope that's helpful and that you will reach out if I can make that process or your potential competitiveness as an applicant any clearer.